Bruce Cassidy's former team, the Boston Bruins, pay a visit to the T-Mobile Arena barn tonight. VGK fighting through injuries. Both teams have had that turnover bug going on. An early season test for the Golden Knights, we believe. They play an Eastern Conference opponent for the first time this season, but they have a 5-game win streak against the East. Our preview next, right here on Locked On Golden Knights.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Tony Cardasco and Chris Golick from Las Vegas. Thanks for making us your first listen every day. Of course, you could find us everywhere. You could find us wherever you get your podcast, for starters. I'm a longtime sportscaster, a marketing consultant, and the host of the new Believe in Vegas podcast. Chris is the owner of Silver State Cards and Sports. He's a collectibles dude, the host of the Hockey News Collectibles Show, starring the one and only Chris Golick. Ahead on today's show, the Carter Hart watch is still going on and could happen at any moment now. Does VGK need him? That's one of our questions. We've got locks for tonight's game. And hey, don't forget that you can now watch us on SSSEN. That is the Silver State Sports and Entertainment Network here in Las Vegas. Each day, Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock. And you can catch the show on YouTube TV or on Cox Cable Channel 77. Today's episode is brought to you by Gametime. Download the Gametime app today, and you can create an account. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off of your first purchase. So VGK tonight, Chris, looking for its first home victory on this young season. The Golden Knights will be meeting Bruce Cassidy's former team, the Bruins. He always wants to beat them. There are concerns about health for this team, for the Golden Knights. They're going to be starting Akira Schmid between the pipes. Will we see a return of Noah Hannafin, who did not make the road trip? Brett Howden, will he return, or will we see Cole Reinhardt again sliding into the lineup? And one of the concerns that I have as well was Mark Stone's hand. Of course, that Jeremy Lauzon blast hit him in the hand, and who knows if he had any after effects, but this team's not 100% healthy coming into tonight's game.
No, and this is typical VGK stuff happening right now. It's game 5, game 6, whatever it is, and already got a third of the lineup in flux, and VGK is right in their comfort zone right now. Mark Stone, that's something to watch for. Of course, an injury like that in the game could flare up later. Hopefully there's nothing there. Howden and Hannafin, I would put as unlikely. Coach Cassidy usually wants the players on the ice a couple times with the group before they're inserted back into the lineup, but we also don't know if Howden and or Hannafin have been skating on the side and kind of keeping going or not. So like I said, we'll have a presser today to get some more updates about the statuses of Hannafin, Howden, Hill, Stone. Anything else? Is that it?
I think that's about it.
Okay.
For now. Do we trust Akira Schmid? Do we trust him? You know, I don't know if he's an everyday player. He might have to be if Adin Hill is out for an extended period of time. And I think that at some point that Akira bubble is going to burst. Could it be tonight?
NHL.com on Twitter put something out there. Career in relief for Akira Schmid. And this is simply relief, not as a starter. 14 appearances, a 102 goals against, and a 961 save percentage. That sounds pretty good, but as a starter with VGK, he's an 899, and we know his save percentage and goals against were much worse than that with Henderson. So, listen, this might be a chance for Schmid, and we're going to talk how that plays out a little more in segment 2, but this is a very important start for Schmid, and he was okay, I believe, in that game against the Sharks, if I'm not mistaken. So he's doing fine so far, and this is a big moment for Schmid. Even if the Golden Knights do sign Carter Hart today, this is still important for Schmid to help possibly be the man for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, however long it is. And I guess while we're on that note, let's see if there's an announcement for a Carl Lindbaum call up some point today.
Has to be, right? Boston out to a very quick start this season. They've defeated Washington The red-hot Blackhawks break them up, and the hapless Sabres, who somehow scored 8 goals last night, but they also lost to the Lightning on Monday. They have a new head coach this season, and that new head coach is Marco Sturm, a former player. They've been in Vegas. I don't think there's going to be a Vegas flu situation, but the Beantowners have been here for a minute. They had a team bonding event. You'll like this one, a poker tournament. And I'm surprised they didn't call
where? You know where they played it at?
They didn't say where. I'm guessing it had to be where do you think they're staying? Red Rock, somewhere. The team, the coaches, the players, right? The staff.
If it's at Red Rock, I can find out. My guess is they probably stayed over at Aria and probably did it in a private room back there or something like that. But who knows?
I wonder if it was a private room or just in a conference room.
Aria's got some private areas. Red Rock doesn't have, unless they did it like in a ballroom where it's for entertainment purposes only.
You should have been in charge of this thing, man.
I could have had some fun with the boys. I could have had some fun with them. So looking at, like you mentioned, Washington, Chicago, Buffalo, good start for Boston. Tampa kind of slows down a little bit here. Goaltending stats, Swayman comes into the season not distracted with the looming contract hanging over his head. 9.66 save percentage, 1 goal against in his 2 starts. Maybe we'll get lucky and Corpusalo will play instead with his 3.50 and 8.51 goals against. You mentioned 8 goals last night. 2 teams had 8 goals last night. There was 2, the Blackhawks and the Sabres, right?
And the Sabres. What?
Imagine that on a parlay, and that's also combined more passing yards than Justin Fields last weekend.
Thanks. They've been practicing too, skating at City National. Have the Bruins, and one of the injury concerns coming here to Vegas was Hampus Lindholm, the defenseman who's listed as day-to-day, but he was on the ice yesterday at City National, so perhaps we will see him returning from, I think he's missed a couple of games with a lower body injury. So that'll help the Bruins. Any team that plays defense tonight will win. I think that's important. Yeah, go ahead, man.
No, I'm sorry. More on the lines and everything later, but there's a 6.5 hanging on FanDuel for this game tonight, which I think is, that's a lot. That tells you how much faith the world has in Akira Schmid tonight.
That bubble's going to burst sooner or later, I believe, personally. But
very different Bruins team, just looking on their lines according to Daily Faceoff. Lindholm, Geeky, and Pasta, your top line. Middle stat center, Zaka and Arvidsson. Third line, Mitten between Janot and watch Janot. Janot is he's a bruiser. And Mike Eisema, another youngster. Fourth line, Curele between Kuznetsov and Kastelik. Defense, McAvoy, of course, that's the anchor with Mason Lohrei, youngster. Nikita Zadarev, Henry Jarkaharu, veteran. Then youngster Jordan Harris and Andrew Peak round out the D. So on paper, this is a good spot for the Vegas Golden Knights. First game of the road trip for the Bruins. A lot in favor for VGK tonight.
Yeah, and it's just a 3-game swing, and they don't have a back-to-back yet. They'll play a back-to-back, the Bruins, on Saturday and Sunday. Golden Knight fans, I don't think, again, don't get too excited just yet. Yes, VGK has points in every game, but they beat the 1-3 Flames, lost again last night, 1-2-1 Kings early this season. The Kraken, well, still to be determined. They've got 5 points in the bank. The Flames are on the bottom of the Pacific Division already. And that team just doesn't look good, but not a strong schedule for VGK coming out of the chute. But they do need to make a statement in a game like tonight. And as I mentioned at the top, a 5-game win streak against the East. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and probably they scored first goals in a few of those games too, so something's got to give.
Tonight's the night. They're going to score the first goal, VGK.
I'm not as worried about his strength of schedule when it comes to the Golden Knights. This is a veteran team with a lot of championship pedigree. There's going to be games this season they're just going through the motions, and it's uninspired hockey where they're playing, a team that they should theoretically maul, and it doesn't go well, like the San Jose Sharks last week. You're going to see that out of this team. It's going to be peaks and valleys and everything in between. Really, the Golden Knights are going to try and get points in about 60, a 65, 68 point percentage early on, and then really around the Olympic break, turn it up then.
Coming up next, we've got the latest on Carter Hart, who was involved in the 2018 World Junior scandal for Team Canada. Will he come to Las Vegas? Next on Lockdown Golden Knights. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer that you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers, you can bet just $5, and in return, you can get $300 in bonus bets if that $5 bet wins. That's right. You pick a bet, you put down the $5. If it hits, you're going to unlock $300 in bonus bets that you can use across the application. We definitely love all the ways that you can bet on FanDuel. You can build the parlays. You can try the player props, and even if you'd like, you could go and wager on the live line betting in game. That's something that I try to avoid because I go back and forth there. Whether you're a casual fan or if you love to dive into all of the stats and what have you, FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com today, FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app, and you can get started. Welcome back on this edition of Lockdown Golden Knights from Las Vegas. And thanks so much for tuning in wherever you might be. Myself and Chris Golick now on SSSEN daily at 1 o'clock. And they've also had some reruns of some previous shows you might catch early in the morning. So check that out. Of course, Cox Cable Channel 77 Sunset Strip. And already tomorrow is WTF Day, and already they're just firing. No one likes the use of Rasmussen. Someone was challenging me yesterday on who is Rasmussen.
That's pretty funny. Did they tag you, or was that just a random?
No, just straight up at me. Yeah, straight up at me. It was great.
Perfect.
So we could start WTT a little early here. Yesterday came and went. It was the first day, as we know, that the players involved in the Hockey Canada scandal could sign NHL contracts. And after their names, of course, were cleared. Is this all about, for VGK, the buildup? Because as days go by, I think you take a lot of emotion away from the fans. Started thinking about this. This is what you do when you're up at 3:30 in the morning. And Cam Robinson of Elite Prospects reported overnight. I think I had the first like there, like at 2:30 or 3 o'clock. But he said that the deal is close and that it's 2 years at $1.8 million. The good doctor, Frank Saravelli, meanwhile, said 2 years in the vicinity of $2 million. VGK will not have any issues cooking the books between now and December 1st if they so choose to become cap compliant. But what do you think the holdup might be right now?
I'll stay on my ledge here about the injury to Adin Hill has possibly made McCrimmon and company take another look at the situation. With Carter Hart, there's not a bunch of teams knocking on the door like, hey, we're going to sign you. He probably has more interest in the KHL and other leagues around the world than he does in the NHL. Of course, anyone wants to be an NHL player, and I get that too. So the Golden Knights know the situation. They know the leverage that they have in this moment. Carter Hart doesn't just want to go to any team. He wants to go to a competitor because the best chance for him to rebuild his personal hockey brand is to go to a winner and contribute to a winner. And the Golden Knights are among the Stanley Cup favorites. So it's a perfect situation for Carter Hart. On VGK's side, Adin Hill is injured. The Golden Knights, and maybe we'll see, who knows, Adin Hill might skate today and all of a sudden everything is fine. You never know. But let's assume Adin Hill is injured, timeout to be determined. Now the Golden Knights can take an extended look at Schmid. They kind of know what they have in Schmid, but you never know if he gets to string a few NHL starts, maybe he'll just kind of click a little bit. And of course, now we're going to get a chance to likely see Carl Lindbaum face some NHL action in the near future here. And the Golden Knights now have the opportunity to kind of try before you buy. What's the problem the Golden Knights are trying to solve? Well, there's issues with goaltending. Well, now they get a chance to take a look at their goaltending. And I'm going to pose two questions here. I know if I ask you yes or no, does VGK need Hart? Tony's answer is?
I'm guessing yes, from a hockey standpoint.
You're saying yes. Okay.
Yes, from
So
the hockey side of things, yes, definitely.
similar
They're
question coming now.
inconsistent there in the cage.
Similar question. Does VGK need goaltending help?
Absolutely. Absolutely, they need goaltending help. I've not
Carter
been
Hart's the only
told.
option out there for that.
And exactly, and they've had plenty of time to tamper and negotiate. I mean, how does the media, how do these insiders even know that the Golden Knights are that only team, right, that is in the hunt there for Carter Hart? Unless, of course, they're still talking. So why don't they have a deal now? Why are they continuing negotiations? I'll tell you why. Because you have this rage, and then the rage builds up, and you've got more rage, and over time it sort of dissipates. And I think that that's what they're doing right now. And as you said on the show yesterday, Schmid or Schmieder, whatever you're going to call them, and Limbaum, they're not the answer. They're not the answer. They're not going to take you to the promised land. You said it yourself, Colic.
No, you had rage coming. I was backing up right there. You were raging against the machine right there.
I was raging against several machines.
You were a rat in the cage. So I do agree here. We got here come all the '90s grunge tunes up for today's show. So listen, yes, what you said is pretty accurate here. And Lindbaum's the question mark. Lindbaum, pardon me, is the joker here as far as how are things going to work out if he gets some NHL action. I've been high on Lindbaum. But really, it's more of a hunch at this point based on limited AHL action. I don't know if Lindbaum can make the immediate jump, but we've seen situations where goalies do make an immediate jump as a rookie, and they do contribute. Antti Niemi, I'll go back to that all the time with my Chicago Blackhawks fandom days here. You see goalies like that pop up out of nowhere. So the Golden Knights might just be pumping the brakes a tiny bit to wait and see what happens. And the initial reports, 2 at 2 million, 2 years, 2 million, 2 years, 2 million, 2 years.
Rage.
Here comes 1.8 and vicinity of 2 million. So
right.
This is McCrimmon trying to save a couple of bucks here too. And why not?
Know. Yes. The signing of Carter Hart, as we know, it's definitely polarizing. It's the best way to put it.
Yeah.
A lot opposed in favor of him coming here. Many opposed, despite he and his teammates from the World Juniors team being exonerated in the case. And so it is one of those cases where I watch a lot of court TV, man, and I don't know if what I would do. But I do know one thing. They've had time, and over time, of course, now, and the leverage has and will be in the hands of McCrimmon and the Golden Knights. They've got the leveraging here. Where else is Carter Hart going to go? He's not going to go to Canada. Carolina was hot at first, and they said, nope, hot potato. Throw him to Vegas.
Hot potato. That's good, Tony. That's good.
Yeah, he was a hot potato.
That was good.
Right? I mean,
no, you're not wrong, and that's why that same thing I said leverage. In one of my recent tweets, the list is extremely short or non-existent for Carter Hart potential locations here. So the Golden Knights should use every bit of leverage that they have here. And if Carter Hart wants 2 years at $2 million, McCrimmon can just no and push the napkin back and say, how about 1 at 1? How about 1 year, $1 million? Here's your bridge. And then that would actually be more advantageous for Carter Hart, because if he does assist the Golden Knights in a deep playoff run or to the promised land, then sometime in June or July of 2026, now he's looking at a reasonable NHL contract and getting back to work here. And as far as the polarizing situation and the fans' reaction and everything, Golden Knight fans, with all due respect, McCrimmon doesn't care.
Just doesn't care.
This organization
cares about the W.
Care. And and when I say the organization doesn't care, even if they do not sign Carter Hart, that does not mean the organization cares. It just means they did not feel from a hockey perspective that Carter Hart was the right fit for this team. The Golden Knights have, again, look up members of the coaching staff. Look up Trevor Connolly's situation. Look up other players in the American League.
Brett Howden.
And Brett Howden was involved in everything too here. So point being is here, if the Golden Knights see a path to Carter Hart helping this team, they're going to put him in that locker room. They're going to do everything they can to assist him as far as with his background and everything. You will see lots of involvement in the community, probably in due time, just like we saw with Trevor Connolly and everything. And the Golden Knights will do his best to rehabilitate his situation.
Yeah. We'll have to see. And of course, that late night news dump, that's the way they
Came and
operate.
went, Tony. Came and went. That was a great
It
call by you. I can't believe it didn't happen.
11 o'clock last night, I was there. And then I slept with one eye open. Up next, locks, props, and
Were you
chance.
gripping your pillow tight?
Yes, good
Okay,
call.
good.
More ahead on this edition of Locked On Golden Knights. And a grunge show broke out. The hockey season's officially here, and nothing beats being in the arena for those opening games. But let's be real, getting tickets could be an absolute headache between waiting in queues, surprise fees, the prices that jump right before checkout, all of that. It is so easy to get frustrated and just walk away. That's where Gametime comes in. The app that gives the fans the advantage is your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NHL tickets fast, easy, and stress-free. Our little hack is wait outside of T-Mobile Arena. The prices continue to plummet the closer you get to face-off time. Yep, exactly. And one of the things that we definitely like is you see what you're going to pay. I like that. So there's no hidden fees at checkout. This is what the absolute total package will be. There's zone deals. They're a game changer. You pick the section. Gametime picks your seats, and you save plenty. Take the guesswork out of buying NHL tickets with Gametime. Download the Gametime app today. Create an account. Use the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. You'll receive $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. That's the promo code LOCKEDONNHL. $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. I was concerned about swiping there, one of those other apps. Thanks so much for tuning in. Of course, we appreciate you, especially our everydayers tuning in around the world. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, WTF Day. Please subscribe to our Locked On Golden Knights YouTube channel. So the Bruins have been here for a couple of days, Chris, but it looks like they were chilling, enjoying themselves. Again, the first of 3 on the road at Colorado and Utah later on Saturday, Sunday, back-to-backs. Both teams, like one of the concerns here, both teams are turning the puck over. And that's a sign, of course, of the early season, trying to find some rhythm, trying to find some flow, and get your game in stride. Chemistry, of course, obviously, is a big part of it. But Charlie McAvoy and Nikita Zadorov, they each had turnovers that led to goals in the Tampa loss. And then VGK was sloppy early on against the Flames. They had a hurdle turnover. The Barbashev turnover led to a goal. So I think turnovers will be a big factor in tonight's game.
I expect a cleaner VGK game. Yes, there was some turnovers, but the Golden Knights goals against, besides the opener, it's been twos, right, across the board, if I'm not mistaken. I got to check the game log. Point being is the VGK defense has been playing very, very well, and the goaltending has been pretty decent too, despite some early troubles against the Flames. Some news and notes about the lines. VGK is minus 235 tonight. Pretty strong favorite.
Too high.
I think it's a little too high. Boston is plus 190. You have an over-under, and I think you want to talk about too high, Tony. FanDuel, 6.5. The over is plus 112. The under is minus 138.
Oh, wow. The key tonight, I think, coming into this game, so it will be the second line matchup. How's that going to shake out? Who is the second line? Is it Hertl, Marner, Dorofeev? Who will it be?
I think they'll stick with that for another night. No
matter who it is, the key's going to have to be to stop the Bruins' second line coming on really strong here of late. Pavel Zacha, Casey Middlestat, you talked about him. Victor Arvidsson, that's a pretty formidable second line, and they have goals in each of the 3 previous games. So I think that's going to be a pretty interesting matchup, I think, inside of this game. So that's something to look out for in tonight's contest.
The Bruins need to pick a lane, rebuild, or trying to put a playoff team out there that's going to make a run here. And when you have a goalie like Swayman locked up, you got Pasta on your team. Charlie McAvoy, this is a team that definitely should be competing, and they are. I mean, they're 3-1 in the young season, so we'll see how that shakes out. A couple of props here that seem interesting. Then I'll give my SGP of the night. We'll see how that works out. Eichel, 2 or greater points at plus 128. I like that one. Eichel, 4 shots or greater on goal at plus 142.
It's 4 shots now. It was 2 and
Well,
a
you can
half.
do 3 shots. You can do shots, and you can
buy it
adjust it
down?
for the odds.
Okay.
So if you go 5 shots, you would probably get plus 170 or something like that. You know what I mean?
It's been 2 and a hook standard, as we know.
Yeah, but the 2 and a hook's probably, if you go over 2 and a hook, it's probably minus 375 or something like that. That's not worth betting. I like an alternate line for the Bruins number of goals scored under 2.5 at minus 128. I think that's something. I like the VGK defense right now, Tony. I like the VGK defense right now. I think there's not a lot of respect for him. And then I got a fun single game parlay for the chance segment. All right, here we go. Check this out. Marner's getting on it tonight. Give me a Marner goal. Give me Marner 2 or greater shots on goal.
Yep.
I am taking the alternate game total at under 5.5.
Yep.
60-minute victory for VGK, so no overtime. And then I'm going to take a goal by either team in the first 10 minutes of the game. And a $5 wager would return you over $350.
Go ahead. Just one more time. So
you want to write this down. All right. Marner's going to score a goal tonight.
Yep.
2 or greater shots for Marner.
Okay.
Alternate total under 5.5.
Don't like that one.
VGK is going to win the game in 60 minutes, no overtime.
Okay.
And then a goal by either team in the first 10 minutes. And that returns $5, wins you $356.
I think, I have a different opinion as far as the scoring. I think both teams can score tonight. I think the thing about Akira Schmid, he obviously faced not a very good team in Calgary. Not a good team at all, I don't think. And tonight, I think there's a certain point. So he just comes in cold. Yeah, that's the best way to go in. You don't have to overthink things, go through. Tonight, I think he's going to have to put a lot more effort, obviously, into the game plan, what have you, all that. Sooner or later, I think the bubble bursts. That's my opinion. And then I'm going to go. So yesterday, I'm at the breakfast place, and the owner comes over, and we're talking, and he calls Mitch Marner
Rasmussen?
the world's
Oh.
No, he calls Mitch Marner the world's most expensive decoy. I think that's perfect. I think that's the way you size it up. He is a decoy so far, but again, flashbacks to playing in the East, 13 goals, 33 assists in 28 regular season games against the Bruins. I'm going Marner on a Hattie.
So we agree on Marner at least to do something tonight.
He's going to score. He's on Hattie alert. He's on Hattie alert for me.
Let's go.
Yes. Yeah. Last February, he scored twice in a game against the Bruins, including the game winner in overtime. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Locked On Golden Knights.